moon. So,
Well, we are having a grand trine in water. So I do think there is that like attunement. The new moon in Scorpio. Also, I think Mercury retrograde thins the veil. And then
mm,
Mercury just moved back
and
into Scorpio, right?
right.
And we have the Scorpio new moon tomorrow, and it's a juggernaut. Like it's is that how you pronounce
Mm,
that word? It's
I don't know,
so
but I
Mer-
love
so it's like I feel like that's like a word that's used when they're talking about tentpole movies.
or like
I don't know why I think that. I don't know. But anyway, so Mercury is retrograde. It'll be conjunct the sun and the moon and opposing Uranus, which just retrograded back into Taurus from Gemini. And it, listen, the whole of 2025 is a grief year, a release year. There's a lot of people having a lot of anxiety. What's next? Feeling ungrounded, feeling uncertain of next steps. That's 2025. It's a completion year
it
in
is
everything.
intense, babe.
Tell me about it. So, literally, Neptune and Saturn are sitting opposite my Sun Saturn conjunction.
Right.
It's been a year. So,
Yeah.
so this new moon, it it feels like a potent and deep um start or reset on something, but like that's taking into consideration that we're really looking at like a much bigger reset in February. But Scorpio is the last fixed sign before Aquarius. So we're at the like essentially the
Uh,
quarter moon before like in terms of years, in terms before the Aquarius solar eclipse February 17th. And that's the same week that uh that Saturn and Neptune meet at 0 degrees Aries. But anyway, whenever we're dealing with Uranus,
mm,
to expect the unexpected. Scorpio is alchemizing. It's like taking what is and transforming it, but it's definitely attuned. It's definitely psychic. It definitely has that quality to it. And I think there's also,
of what's to
whenever
come.
we're dealing with Scorpio, we're dealing with like things unburied, like things coming up that we thought were buried or done or had died. Like it's a kind of rebirth. So that
Mhm.
energy is there too.
Yeah, it feels like this moon is like you said, like an unearthing and like a plunge into the depths, but at the same time, almost like what my energy was feeling this morning when I was journaling, and even yesterday, I was in this certain vibe, and I was like, it felt like I was like peeking through the curtain of like you're saying, when the real energy shifts in February. Like I was like, oh, like that's what it's gonna be like down there.
Yes, like
It's
glimmers.
yeah, like okay, I'm sort of start because this whole year, like you said, like there's been like no glimmers. It's just been like,
Other than the baby coming.
well, the baby's coming, and that's the whole like physical
Yes.
that's happening. But as far as just like, the way that I process into motherhood is always twofold. It's like I don't feel like my psyche and my identity ever fully shifts into that 100%. I'm still very much like there.
Yeah.
So much of this year has been like settling into like the motherhood part of it, but also feeling more grief of the lost sense of self, but then recognizing like what is still there and what is still there to like mine and like celebrate and bring back to life. And it's not just having to do with motherhood, it has to do with the past few years of
Yeah.
and loss. And it feels like this moon is like a little bit of like a okay, like we're showing you what all this has been for and what it's moving into,
Yeah.
but we have to rip your heart out just one last time.
Do- I know.
I know, yeah. Yeah, I lost my dog. Really sad. She died on my dad's birthday.
That's so interesting.
I know. Yeah.
I feel like they really do know. Like they know when, I don't know, their souls know when they're supposed to go.
I'm like,
But
it's we also knew it was her time. Like that night, Tyler was like, I was gonna put her in the cage with Carlos, but I didn't feel like it was a good idea. And I'm like, it's so weird because I was gonna put her in the bed with us, but I didn't feel like it was a good idea. But we never said that to each other.
yeah, again, psychic attuned.
We just individually we should put her somewhere cozy that she'll just be happy for a minute.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and that grief too is tied to the grief of my mom, and because she was there for me during that time. So definitely, like, there's something happening where it's like there's a thread being pulled through all the past few years to kind of like
Mhm.
one more level, you know.
Mhm.
My friend and I were talking today because she's going through something unrelated to this, but just her own version of like the depth being
Mhm.
mind and challenge, and she described it in the way that I would describe it a couple of years ago, where it was like every day was so much work to get out of this, like, low grade feeling of, like, depression and, like, will this ever end type of thing, and I was telling her, I was reflecting on this the other day because I was in the depth of that, and then cut to 6 months later, I was pregnant and with a guy, and I had no idea any of that was gonna happen, like, I was suffering so.
Yes.
And then I told her, like, when you're somebody this we live in this world where half of the population is willing to and does just turn all their feelings off by taking medication. Like, I don't wanna go to this depth, give me something to make it less painful. And
You
we
think half the population, literally? You think it's 50% Medicaid? We're not talking about self-medication through, like,
not
alcohol. So isn't, like, alcohol use way down or, like, cannabis or whatever. You think,
no
like, are on SSRIs?
so many people are on SSRIs. Like, one of my friends, I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, "And I'm not even on an SSRI." And I was like, "You say that like that's like the norm is SSRIs." And he lives in New York City, and he's like, "Every single person I know is on them." Like, it's rare. Maybe it's not 50%, but it might be. It might like if you look at 50% of any friend group, you might be shocked to find out how many people are on them.
I would be curious, um, if that correlates to socioeconomic status, meaning those in a higher socioeconomic status are more likely to be on them.
Yeah, I think that's maybe possibly true. That's interesting. But the point of what I was saying too is just that, like, consider yourself, like, brave and strong for being willing to face the storm and know that, like, you're doing it because you're interested in evolution and you're interested in growth. Like, I think that we have this negative connotation with, like, the darker times, but if we reframe it, it's like it's offering us
But
something
always.
profound in our healing and in our ability to be more clear with ourselves on our paths, with our partners, with our friendships, whatever it is, it's there to guide you. It's not there to, like, destroy you.
But I think that's always true. I also think it's just kind of like society is sick, and so people do what they need to do in order to navigate a sick society.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't you think I think that reaching for this might make people mad, or maybe people are ready to hear this, but I think that reaching for a pill to make it stop is, like, the lowest hanging fruit as far as, like, how we're dealing with the sick society. Because it's
Yeah,
just
I mean, listen, I have such complicated feelings about all of this because I come, like I mentioned last time, there is a lot of mental illness in my family, and uh, you know, I
okay.
I've seen it used and as a panacea and work not be done that needs to be done. I've seen it used with work that's life changing, and then I've seen it, but I mean, I guess that's different because I'm talking about like real, like mental illness,
That
like
can we not discern between true mental illness and just run of the mill anxiety or
I
depression?
know it's layered, right? Because I used to say, well, at least I have a mom, but she was so medicated that she wasn't even it's not like she was able to be present, and she was so still traumatized legit from her childhood. And then now in her final years as she's unraveling and she like doesn't take her meds and what it's like it's so and I've said to my like I would have rather had the mom I had that was like medicated than this. I
Right.
don't know. I don't know if that can be worked through what she or her makeup. I don't know if it could have been worked through therapy. I don't know. I don't want to make cut and dry. I don't know. But I know what I'm experiencing now at the end of her life, and it's I would have way rather had what I had, which was nothing than this.
But
You know what I mean? That's my personal experience. But I myself, you know, uh, I'm not on anything, and I don't, and I choose to not go that route when I hit tough roads.
but let me just go back to your mom for a second because my mom went down her own pill journey as well.
Mm.
It's different, obviously. Hers was like she wasn't really mentally ill. She had ADD, whatever. That's a whole
Yeah.
separate. But
Oh, that's like a whole other
that's
conversation because
a whole other
we all over medicate. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and her pills made her like exponentially more crazy than she ever was. So that's like I had two different moms too, but it
Yeah.
kind of like I had a fun kooky one and then I had this like weird crazy lady and it was just like what happened here. But to the point with your mom, don't you think or perhaps just
Mhm.
as a
Yeah.
thought, perhaps had she not been neutralized in her youth or when she was your mom,
100%.
have been not just mental therapy, somatic, all the things that are tools that we know now, like even down to like adjusting body, maybe would have led to a different outcome as she aged. Because now what's happening is all
100%.
cats out of the bag
A
because
100%. a
crap.
100%. But she, like, in her saner moments, she has said to me, like, "I never had the strength to do what you do."
Right.
So,
That's so honest.
yeah. I mean, she's just like, "I never had, you know, I just didn't have the emotional strength to do what you do." But she also had a much more traumatic upbringing. I think that there is I guess I come like, the older I get, I'm like, is isn't isn't everybody doing, like, the best they can? Like, isn't this world overwhelming? And isn't everyone doing the best they can? And I hear you. I just I understand. Again, I don't make the choice, but I understand sometimes when people need it to take the edge off. They literally feel like they can't function.
I think my perspective also comes from the fact that I've done it.
Same, but I just have empathy for people where it's maybe too hard for them to do it.
100%. And I have that empathy too. And I'm at my point with my friend wasn't really like, fuck these people, they can't feel it. It was more like, give yourself some credit for having the bravery to do it. Like,
Yeah, it's not
it,
easy, but also it's like, I think whatever it is, this goes back to what we were texting about, is that we're not having honest conversations.
right.
We're having everything but not you and I, but just the culture, right? It's like everything is diagnostic. It's like I was having this conversation with a friend the other day. I was like, remember how we used to just say, oh, that person is shy, or that person is sociable, or that person is difficult, or a pain in the ass, or an asshole?
I used
It's like,
to call people idiosyncratic.
yeah, eccentric,
Weird.
eccentric, weird. Right. And now everything is diagnosed. And also, coming off of last week's conversation when we were talking about, you know, the the dishonesty of the body positivity movement, that those that championed it the most, the minute they got their hands on Ozempic, they took it. And it's like, and I said that, and I texted you that I think the same thing applies when people are like, I'm Marxist. And it's like, would you still be Marxist if you were making $10 million a year, or even 500 grand a year, or 250,000? Like, meaning it's how much of it is like our inability to be honest about wanting something that we don't have or feel we
Yeah.
can't have. And like,
Yeah.
w- and just having an honest conversation, and also the idea that everything is diagnosable means everything is fixable. And like, some people are difficult. They have difficult personalities. Like, some people are more agreeable but like, we rush to fix these things.
Yeah.
And I think that's the underlying thing is like, m- maybe we're also just like not fucking naming the landscape of whatever we're feeling, like whatever it is. And so we're just rushing for the thing that's going to make it better instead of looking something like calling a spade a spade. No one ever uses that term anymore.
Totally. I love that saying.
No one ever says that because
Yeah.
everything is relative, right? So no, you can't say that because that's relative. And here's exceptions. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule, but it's like we can't even have honest conversations about things.
You're making
Being
me think about like why I have had such a shift in terms of my identification with like wellness. And you and I have talked about this too. It's like there's just this innate implication that something is wrong and needs to be fixed.
Yeah,
And maybe we shouldn't start with that.
exactly.
Maybe we should just start with what is happening instead of always pointing to what needs to like be better. Or
Yeah, it's
like the optimization culture.
right. It's like I'll be on a call with a client, and they'll be sharing this story, and I'll say about something that happened, and I'll say that just sounds really hurtful or
Yeah.
really scary, and then there's like a sobbing because no one's just naming what it is.
Right.
It's like, I know
Right.
that sounds obvious, but we don't do that.
No, I totally know what you mean. Just like letting someone know that what has happened is painful is like this relief valve to them to where it's like they don't have to be the one to like fix it or understand it right away. It just has to be like having the feeling.
Yeah, or like I I remember my first roommate in LA. And then I actually need to tell Daniela. She once told me, she's like, she had said that hurts my feelings. And I was like, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. She goes, you hurt my feelings every day. And I was like, it's not funny, but it
Ah,
was, I, I still think about that. I was in my 20s and I was like, yes, my New Yorker can be but it's like, I needed to be told that.
yeah,
I didn't know I was doing that. I can be,
yeah.
but it's like sometimes we just need to.
Why is that so funny to me?
I know. I mean, everything is copy, so now it's funny, but I was like, every day? Like,
Yeah. What am I doing?
well, because like, listen, I definitely have my dad in me, and like, her room was like there were clothes everywhere on the ground, just everywhere on the ground, and I was like, "Do you need to clean that? Don't you need to clean this up?" Like, it's so much. I mean, I guess that can be hurtful,
Well, it's also just
right? But I'm saying, like, we don't just. I
as a
feel like even in
thought,
dialogue,
I can tell you that many people have told me that before. I I with both sides.
but I'm saying, like, I think that we would go a lot farther relationally. And I don't mean weaponizing that. That's a whole other thing. Like, I'm not talking about weaponizing, you're hurting my feelings and not it, but just having like honest conversations and
Yeah.
like naming the landscape on things. Like I said to you last week, like, it'd be nice to be 15 pounds thinner. And like, I think about that. I'm not making the choice to take a GLP-1. Okay. Like, I still would like to be 15 pounds thinner. I
Yeah.
also enjoy pastries. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, end of story. Like, I don't know why it's more complicated than that.
Well, it's not. It's just that what we were also talking about in the continuation of the body positivity thing and just like the truth around the self thing is that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to be admitting there's something that you don't have that you want to have. It's okay to admit there's something that you have that you don't want. There's nothing wrong with being honest in your own self experience and your own self assessment. I think the question is, what is the healthiest way to go about exploring and integrating that, right? And like the obvious easiest way is to take a GLP-1 or take a pill or whatever. Like that's a to us. This is the magic bullet culture, and I think that's more my issue
But I'm
than
not sure it is magic bullet because I think there's always something on the other side. Like
not. That's what I'm saying. Magic bullet is an illusion.
it just, of course it is, because whatever the underlying material is that is present doesn't just go away.
Yeah, like I was
I
talking.
mean,
Who was it? You and I that was talking about like Megan Trainor.
no, is that a singer?
Yeah, wait, who was I talking about this with like yesterday? We were because my friend I was with saying we were talking about the body positivity thing also, and because she brought up Amy Schumer to me also, and she was like saying how it's really weird, and I was like, and then she started naming other celebrities who've kind of just like had this like transformation from self-identifying as like all about that bass and like I'm the relatable big girl. And now they're just on this whole other spectrum. And I watched this video of Megan Trainor because I follow her because I used to be friends with her brothers and like I know her husband a little bit. So like they're just kind of like in my internet
Yeah.
friendship. And they're all really sweet, like great family, really sweet people. And they were doing this podcast and she was talking about how like she still she wishes she could like herself more. And she's saying this as somebody who's had this like very dramatic physical transformation. Like
Oh, is she much thinner now?
she's extremely thin. She got like new teeth. She's got a lot of Botox. She's got new lips. She's like she wasn't like a great beauty, but now she's done all the things to like ascend herself as close as she possibly can get to being looking like that, echelon of person.
But isn't that like the greatest example, right? That like it's not going to solve for the inner material.
That's why I'm telling you that because it broke my heart when I saw this clip where I was like, "Oh my god, she's like doing all these things to externally feel like she's becoming the person she thinks she's supposed to become and yet she still doesn't like herself." And it just made me really really sad.
Well, okay, so this is actually an interesting, right? It's like if this is one of those things where like if we do the inner work, it's reflected
Yeah.
externally,
Yeah.
right? Like Daniel will always talk about how how like he feels like people genuinely are beautiful when they're beautiful inside.
Yeah.
He's like a very pure soul like that,
Yeah.
like he's really like you can see the like beauty, you know. He's like I've been on dates with like the when he was modeling in LA and in New York and in his 20s, and he's like, but if there's not the light, there's no attraction. So I
Yeah.
think that there is something like if we do that, if we do the inner work, it shows. It's like when I see these older women and they have wrinkles or whatever, but they have lived a life and are lit from within.
Mhm.
But that's the whole thing, is that our whole culture right now, maybe it's always been this way, but it's everything is identified from the outside. Like, I do believe as a culture, we used to value things like character or decency or, you know, but now it's just like, how does someone look? So if you don't have a strong internal constitution, it's going to be really, really hard to not be swayed by that or seek that.
Yeah. But I do feel like maybe in her position, for example, there can be an eventual realization that
Well, that's the goal, right? It's like eventually
done all
then that's
you think you're supposed to do to feel so good about yourself, but still you just have like increased your imposter syndrome.
right, because it ultimately is all inside, and that presents itself. And it's going to present itself also through ways that are out of our control. Meaning, taking steps like that is all steps within a person's control, but then life throws at you material that's not in your control.
Mhm.
That's what being on this earth is,
Mhm.
right? So it's like, how do we weather that? And
Yeah.
how do we navigate that? But yeah, it does kind of break my heart. And like if when I see 20 somethings getting a bunch of plus, but because it's like, where do you go from here? Like, what happens when you actually age? I guess people think like they won't have to age because there'll be some kind of invention. But then it's like, I don't want to live in that world. I actually want to. Oh my God, I watched this documentary last night. This reminds me of this. I watched the Andrea Gibson documentary.
Well, who's that?
Andrea Gibson was the Colorado Poet Laureate,
Okay.
and non-binary refers to himself as they just died.
Okay.
And it's a documentary about her story, and it's really like it follows the cancer diagnosis, not up until death, but basically up until finding out it's the end. And the relationship to death is, oh my God, 2 years is actually a really long time to live.
Right.
I mean, I was like sobbing at the end, but you know, not conventionally beautiful, but there was this light,
Mhm.
and it's so beautiful. Like, I don't know. It's like, and then I'm in the middle of The Beast in Me. Are you watching this on Netflix?
Claire Danes.
Oh, it's so fucking good. But I was like, all I want to do is watch the last 4 episodes, right? But like, Claire Danes is so not vain,
Yeah, I know. I love that about her.
and like, it's like Carrie Russell. It's like watching someone like that is so much more compelling to me.
Yeah.
And I do believe there's an audience beyond just an audience of me who wants to see real faces, real aging, who is moved by the arc of the human experience. It sees aging as like I even saw Cheryl Strayed lost all this weight. And I'm like, you weren't even that big. Like, I don't know. I'm like, what are we doing?
Well, I think the fear of aging is so real too. Like even turning 40, it was like this whole thing where I was interfacing with it until I finally came to this place where I was like, wait, this is fucking so cool. Like this is crazy cool that I get to keep going. And it was on the heels or my dad also, it was his birthday like 2 weeks later, and he was having, he turned 71 and he was having like the opposite feeling where he's like, I'm not happy about it. And I'm like, you should be happy about it because the other alternative to getting older is dying.
Yeah.
So pick your fucking poison, my guy. And it's okay to want to like look good, but like by what standard are we measuring that against? I think that's the big
But
question.
what are we chasing? What is
Yeah.
it that we're really chasing? Like, what? Um, how other people see us visually? Is that what we're chasing?
No, I think maybe it's that, perhaps, but I also think it is the it's not as much what we're chasing, it's more what we're denying.
Yeah, which is that we will all die.
Yeah.
We will all leave. And this is all a privilege. And being here is a privilege. And, it's, yeah, I don't think we talk about death enough. I just don't think, not that we should be macabre and talking about it all the time, but I don't think we talk about it in the perspective of it gives us life. That's what Andrea was speaking so much about. It's like, it gives us the reminder of how precious and fleeting life is. And like you're watching Asher grow up like so fast, right? It's like it's all so fleeting. And that's the beauty of it. If we
Well,
didn't have death, life wouldn't have meaning.
it's weirdly connected to the thing we were talking about before about like denying our own, more difficult experiences by trying to anesthetize is like it is very emotional and very painful to consider death and your own death and the death of your loved ones. And it's also very painful to experience those things. And that's okay. Like, it's okay that it hurts.
Life.
It's okay that sometimes when I look at my child and I think about how I think about my own childhood and how it was so innocent to the fact that like my mom was going to die one day and then she did. And I go through this whole process. Hello? Excuse me? Oh my god. Hi. Wait, come over here. Okay, but I'm on this phone call and I want oh, oh my god. Carlos, shush. Ashley, do you want to come say hi to me? Have a kiss? No, he doesn't want a kiss. He wants to play on the rolling chair. Why are you? Why are you such a big boy? Like, come over here. You want to say hi to my mom? Get over here. Get over here. What do you think? I think you can do one ride on the chair. Oh my god. Anyway, you just maybe this is just the entertainment that you guys need right now.
On a swivel chair. Of course, because what's more fun than that? What's more fun than that?
There's nothing more. Hello?
You want to say hi to mommy? Say hi to mama. Look, say hi. Okay, gotta go to the gym.
Gotta go to the gym? Wait, can I have a kiss? Ah. Ashley, wait. Bye.
But I think this is such a Scorpio. This is such a Scorpio conversation, right? Because it's just, yeah, I think that this is what I think is going to start to shift with out of Pisces into Aries. It's like just more direct conversation, more direct, honest assessment instead of the runaround.
Yeah.
Because there's just, we can deal with things when we're honest about them. When we're not honest about them, dealing with them becomes that much more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's to be honest that it's painful, to be honest that it rips your fucking heart out. Like I sing Asher the same song to go to bed that my mom would sing me. And sometimes I'm just like crying, singing him his bedtime song.
Yeah.
Because I'm traveling through like time and space and just knowing what life really is. And it's so sad sometimes, but it's also like so beautiful at the same time. And I think that when I was young, when my mom was still alive, I would when she would be very macabre and be like, "You'll miss me when I'm gone," and she would always like love to talk about her own death because I think it made her feel like I'm giving you a reason to appreciate me when I'm living kind of a very, very Jewish guilt energy and like Venus and Scorpio. Like, okay, lady. But the when she would do that, I would always like deny her that privilege of that conversation. And it wasn't until it was weird. She came to visit me like 2 months before she got diagnosed. And she was like, I need to talk to you about something. I need to make you the executor of my will.
Mm-hmm.
And just like something about the way that she said it, and maybe I was just ready to like open to that conversation. I was like, "Are you dying?" And she was like, "No, I just think it's something that we should talk about." And it was very, I mean, maybe psychically she knew that something was coming because it was just such a very like direct conversation. Um, but it took me until I was 35 years old to be able to like even allow her to bring that to my table. If she had tried to have that conversation with me even 5 years prior, I would have been like, "I'm not talking about your will." Like, "Ugh, like, why are you so dark?" Like being more immature about my own
Yeah.
ability to process that truth. But I wish I had been able to do it sooner because kind of I feel like you were sort of edging into this conversation is like, if you're willing to confront the reality of death, it makes you more able to dive deeper into the depths of life.
Yes. And then it's everything works from there, meaning if you can, i- if one can be honest about whatever it is. This one of my favorite sayings that is that we can never depart a station we've never arrived at. So it's like in if one is in a relationship and the relationship is in a really rocky place, you're gonna get a lot further to say, we are in a really tough spot right now.
Right.
We're having a hard time. We are not meeting one another. Then denying it or running away from it, right? Or like if one is in a rough financial state, it's like I am in a rough like then you acknowledge it, you can take steps. But if you cannot admit what the thing is, and because we have been living in this era of like, and that's not faith, because it's
Right.
like it allows you to work with faith in a new way. If you can't, it's like if we can acknowledge what's wrong, how are we going to ask God for support? Like the reason AA is so effective for so many people is that it names what it is.
Right.
It names what it is, right? And so I just think we've been in this, oh no, you can just spiritually bypass it, or you can just, and it's like that keeps us in a fog machine.
It's so true what you're saying just about the relationships, even on like a personal level. Like, Tyler and I are so alike in so many ways and so in sync in on like a soul level where we like want the same things and we love each other so much. But like sometimes the way we process and the way we operate makes us go like this way.
Of course.
Then because I'm the more like sensey one, I am always the one who ends up feeling the distance first. He'll feel it. He's just like moving a million miles an hour. So
Yeah.
he doesn't really stop as
Yeah.
much. But every time I'm like, "Can we stop for a second? I'm feeling really far away from you and I need us to like come back and like sync up so that we can like keep moving forward." Cause it just feels like it is the most healing thing because then he can be like, "I have been feeling this way and I have been noticing this, but I haven't known what to do about it." It's like literally just like naming it
Yeah.
start like it opens up our ability to come back together. And like I always try to make sure that in those moments where like if like a week or two goes by and it's like that, I'm like, hold up. Like I never wanted to go past the point where I feel like we can like gracefully recover.
Right.
Like
But that's being it's like Daniel is really good at that. Like he's really, because my default is to withdraw and withhold and shut down. And so he's really hurt feelings every day. I'm not laughing, but he
those
is.
are my feelings every day. I can't. I get so fucked up and funny. Sorry.
I know. I hadn't thought about it for a long time. Um, but Daniel will say, like, why can't you treat me the way you treat your clients? Like I can really shut
Right.
down. Anyway,
Well,
uh,
it's
you know,
so obvious.
yeah.
Like because your clients don't have to see you like that.
Well, also, oh yes, also my my maternal relationship was so ruptured.
Right.
So there's just it's like a self-preservation. So like I just have to make sure I'm okay because I'm in overwhelm and no one's there. Even though he is there, it's like a default. I'm working, I'm making strides. I've been making strides for a long time. But my point is that like when we just name it, when we say like where we're in a rough spot, or like, then you can move through it. But if you're just like, head up your ass, or everything is hashtag bliss, it's like, I don't, that's so uninteresting to me, to live in constant fantasy or yearning for some other reality.
Yeah. Well, my friend, it's funny you should say that because my friend and her husband, she's been going through a really difficult time with her newborn and whatever. It's a whole thing. And that newborn portal is
Mhm.
challenge factory to the
Yeah.
max. Comes to partnerships, and especially if you're
Mhm.
having with a baby, whatever. They're in a particularly tough spot, but she and her husband were having issues, and she said to me, she's like, "I told him, like, maybe we're just not right for each other anymore. Like, maybe I need someone who, like, likes what I like, and he needs someone who likes what he," and she starts fantasizing about the type of person that would be better for her, and I was like,
Which is her. She's saying she wants her. If I want someone who likes what I like, I want something, right?
I'm just like, "Exactly." I'm like, you don't feel connected to yourself,
Mhm.
and also, like, the fantasy of some random magical being coming in and, like, being the balm to, like, the thing that you feel like you're missing is so much easier to travel to than sitting in the discomfort of the fact that you guys are having a difficult time, and confronting that and communicating about that and trying to repair with each other. Like, I'm sure, like, many people are, like, meant to get divorced, I'm sure there's that. But I'm also sure that many people do not need to get divorced. They just need to be willing to get their hands dirty.
But that's with everything, right? It's like, even when it it can apply to like work or just any situation or a friendship or whatever. It's like, there are, some, there's rupture beyond repair. But a lot of times, if we just name it, if we just say, and also give grace, right? It's like, say, because we're dealing with human beings, and like someone who just had a newborn, it's like things are going to feel fuzzy for a while, and things are like, it's this obsession with bounce back that I talk about with clients who have very young children or babies. It's like this obsession with bounce back to what? You're in a new reality. I don't like,
It's like how society was like, COVID's almost over. We're going to go back. I'm like, no, we're not. We're never going back.
no,
Go back.
no, it's a new landscape, right? It's like, so I just think that there is something there is something beautiful in looking ahead, right? But not if it sacrifices dealing with the reality of the present.
Right. Exactly. Well said.
And that, like, and I do think that this energetic shift coming next year is much more like, this is the reality. Like, how do we want to deal with the reality?
Right. Right. And I think right now, this season that we're in is like the perfect opportunity to pay attention and be more sensitive internally and externally to the points that you might normally turn away from.
Yeah.
Choose to, like, allow this energy to pull you into the depth of the thing, because the depth of the thing is trying to show you the whole truth.
Right. And also, like,
But don't forget the gift of Scorpio, which is alchemy.
that's it. And also, like, whatever is there, whatever is present, whatever the rub is, the obstacle is the way, like, the low hanging fruit is the thing to work with.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's the alchemy. It's like, that's the thing that's going to propel. And I do love that line from Pema Chodron, like, nothing ever goes away until it teaches us what we need to know.
It's like the Taoist, the lesson is always repeated until learned.
Yeah. Same thing.
Well, it's also just the spiral. It's like you will keep going on the same path and keep refining and keep finding new things. And just when you think you've healed the thing, it comes back around. But then you realize that, oh, I'm one step less attached, or I'm
That's
one
it.
step more in tune, or whatever it is. But it's never going to, like, go away.
No, unless we've whatever, unless it no longer has juice for us.
Even if it no longer has juice, then it's just what Susie, my grandma Crone, says, which is then you have the gift of post traumatic wisdom.
Yeah, 100%. And
So,
that's what life is that we have these experiences, then we metabolize them, then we gain wisdom from them. And also, we're going to fuck up. We're going to make mistakes.
yeah,
That's life.
yeah. Yeah, like the culture, maybe it's that too, like the culture of Ozempic or medication or anti-aging, Botox, or all these cultural things are they're also that which we haven't talked about, which is they're also this they provide this illusion that we can have a level of perfection.
Yeah, that is so uninteresting to me. Just as a person,
Yeah.
as a like a consumer of culture. That's what I was kind of saying. Like I want to watch when I watch something, I want to watch real faces.
It also just feels like really stressful to me.
Well, it is because
Like,
that is well, it feels suffocating to me,
yeah,
honestly. There's not like breathing room around it. It's like, but it I don't know. I mean, that just seems uninteresting. It's like how I feel about home decor. It's like if I see one more all beige house that looks exactly the same, that's like everything is perfect. There's not anything out of like I like character. I like a house to be filled. Like I'm so bored looking online and it's like I get it. It's perfect looking. It's like, but it's your home. What are you like? What's expressive of you and your soul?
dude. Okay, so Asher and I got invited to this like music class in Hidden Hills, which is like, they're really rich,
Yeah.
like what my area.
Kardashian.
They live, yeah, the
Yeah.
Kardashians live like it's like the all professional athletes and rich people and like some like old school people who lived there before it became that.
Yeah.
And it's like the next like it's like the exit down from my house. So we
Yeah.
all go to the same gym and the same grocery store, but it's like a very different energy. And anyways, we go to this music class and I went to two different houses and both times I left being like, I feel so weird. Like, why do I feel so weird? And I was like assessing and I'm like, is it the wealth? Like, what is it? Like, I'm not
Mhm.
really made uncomfortable by wealth because I'm like, I want all the wealth. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
money that to me. That's not what it is. I think money is great. Like, I want it
Mhm.
all. What it is what you're saying, which is that both of the houses are like everything's beige, cream, everything's cream. Okay. And everything in that house you can tell has no meaning to the people that live there. Like an interior designer, maybe like some family photos in one of them were like cute,
Yeah.
but all the books on the bookshelves and everything you can just tell somebody else put there to make it look like they had culture and taste.
It's not interesting to me. Like
And
I
I
love
bad
this.
saying that because they're like totally nice people, but I was like,
Yeah.
I can't like be in this environment. I feel like I'm being like choked to death. And then of course I'm like all awkward. So I spill water on the floor of the house. And the little girl who lives there is like, what did you spill? Like clearly like spilling is not allowed in the beige house. And I'm like, it was just water. And she's like, oh. And then I saw her mom like a couple of days later and I was like, sorry, I spilled water. She's like, oh yeah, she told me. And I'm like, I'm being like narked on by a 2-year-old. Like, I don't even know. So I decided that I can't go to the music class. Like, I paid like $300 for like 8 music classes for Asher, and we've been to two of them. And I'm
Yeah.
just, I don't care. Like, the
You don't
money,
want to be in that environment.
I, I can't keep processing how it makes me feel so weird and uncomfortable. I can't go. Is there just like
Well,
really,
because if there's not mess allowed on the floor, then there's not mess allowed in life. And life is inherently messy, right? So it's like obviously I'm in a primary color phase.
yeah,
It's like my vibe right now. But like I there's something that my favorite online website for design is House and Garden UK. And like all the houses are like they're just like they're a little bit maximalist. Like
yeah,
some are not, but there's color and and you realize like you just can tell that people have stuff out that they've collected through travel, through their experience, through
yeah,
whatever, through family heirlooms, and it just feels lived in and real. And like, it, yeah, it's all of it, right? It's a person's house, the face, but it's all expressions of what's happening inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, "Where's the life in this house?" But it reminds me of, like, why we love, like, a Diane Keaton.
Oh, the
Be
best.
She embodied the quirk and the
And
mess.
had incredible design. By the way, her taste was impeccable, but
You
it
know,
was
I
real.
went to her pin the house that Pinterest
Yeah.
built party. That
Yeah.
house was fucking insanity,
Yeah.
like, so cool.
But she's a create like, she was genuinely creative, right? From her soul. But also, like, I have animals on all my furniture. Like, I wouldn't want it any other way. And I want when you came with Asher, I wasn't like, he can't be here. I growing up in Manhattan, there was a whole section of our apartment I wasn't allowed in because my mom was like, it has to stay clean.
Yeah, same.
What?
My dad would, like, freak out if my backpack scratched the wall or, like,
Oh my God. The whole living room. I went in there once.
yeah,
I like wasn't allowed in there. And my parents don't entertain. It was just she wanted it. It's yeah, I mean, but like, I don't know. Houses should be lived in, no?
totally, and mess should be celebrated. I
Yes.
think I'm
Well, not, but just life is messy. Like it just is. So you're either in denial of it or not. And
yeah,
like this obsession with perfection and image and how things are, how people perceive. I don't know. I just, it's robbing us of something very real.
so I just what he's
I
doing.
heard that.
Yeah, and I think this is a great time to just, like, take inventory of where we all need to, like, kind of, like, loosen the reins and let it just be what it is.
But yeah, happy.
And like, I want also to just say, like, celebrating that tingle of hope that's coming in, knowing that you've been through this, like, really rough year, that it's not going to continue on like this. There's going to be a shift, and, like, next year
Yes.
is a full numerological reset too.
Yeah. Numerology, Western astrology, Chinese astrology, it's all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Snake to horse, Pisces to Aries,
Not
9 to 1. It's all the same.
Yeah. Ugh, I love this.
I love it. So yeah, I'll be driving.
Okay.
But we'll land in Colorado on the 25th, so we'll find. I'm so excited to see Bentonville, Arkansas. I can't even tell you.
I'm glad. Keep us posted.
I will. I'm so into it. There's a coffee shop that you can only get to by bike trails or walking trails. That
I'm ready to relocate to the quartz crystal capital of the world.
totally. I'm so excited. I'll let you know.
Okay. Well,
Love
thank
you.
you for joining us. Happy new moon in Scorpio. Do those
Um,
journals, burn those candles, feel all the feels.
Talk to us in the comments.
Yeah, let us know how you're feeling. Love you. Bye.